Hi, Dr. Allison here, and we are under energies right now that are bringing to fruition what I have been talking about, much of what I've been talking about for years now. And one of them is where you, instead of focusing on what hasn't happened in the past, you're focusing instead on what is now becoming possible, beyond what you used to think was impossible. I'm going to say that again because it is so much inherent to everything I do in service to all the people working with me in humanity at this incredible time of our greatest evolutionary leap ever. This new moon on Sunday, though else this is a timeless video, this new moon on Sunday in Pisces is bringing in energy and help, if we align with it more, to help us stop focusing on the past, like where we may be repeating. I don't mean the kind of looping like you're seeing my fingers do that happens with trauma only. I mean like just focusing on the past and reviewing, especially when you consider what you'd like to create in the nature of bringing yourself into check with what you once thought was impossible now actually becoming possible. Yeah. So some of you may have heard me a couple of years ago on my last free monthly call, bringing in the new year. I don't remember right now what year that was, where I was saying, you know, that saying "too good to be true." Well, we're going to need to wipe out that cynicism because we're moving into a time where we're living that. And so if you look around you with neutral observer eyes rather than projecting out with expectations to see what you're focusing on, you might want, if you're newer, you might want to listen to that again. You can see the shifts that are happening. You can see new possibilities breaking through in our technologies and our infrastructure. And I don't just mean AI, but it is obvious. All of the focus on our thoughts, our mind, our mindfulness, mental health, all of that is a sign in the more mass consciousness of consciousness, spiritual awakening, recognizing our power to co-create. And we're moving into a time where under this new moon, it's also bringing in focusing on what you most desire to create. And then what I want to add in, when I was doing some meditation and getting some guidance on what would contribute to you all to focus the most on today. And welcome to the channel. If you're new, feel free to subscribe at the end of the video, even though I'm going like that. It's going to be at the end of the video because I don't like to disrupt, and I hardly ever even ask for likes or subscriptions, or meaning subscribe. But yeah, it is part of the gig, right? For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. And under this new moon, one of the energetics is corresponding with what I just got when I was sensing what would contribute most to you all with this week's video. And so it's about trust, and I do not mean with other people, towards other people. It's continuing a bit on the conversation we've had in the last couple of videos about that staking your claim, like as if you're landing on the moon and you're piercing with your flag the moon, claiming that sense of claiming your birthright, claiming what you desire with a sense of command from your soul or your spirit or your higher self, however you construe that. There's different cultures, beliefs that I just threw out there with those three different terms. So there is this sense of taking a step now, almost like a grand gesture. And the timing is right for that, where there is this sense of, along with that claim, staking your claim for what you most desire and what you will have, and that allowing for that grander shift that I talked about in a few of the most recent videos. There's a lot of energy running through me right now because there's excitement. There's excitement for what I'm talking about because we're hitting this new time and these new energies. And right now, the threshold we're on is, what can you let go of the restrictions of what you previously thought wasn't possible, expanding beyond that and saying, yes, I will have it. Beyond that claiming energetically with like the stake in the ground, and where you get more of a sense of command, so that so much shifts around you, and the law of magnetics and attraction work more in your favor now and help you more. But this sense of like releasing the constriction, contraction, disbelief, distrust that this is possible, and offering something in the way of I surrender that, with like a sense of a grand gesture. I don't just mean like a devotional offering when you go, maybe if you're practicing Hindu and you're practicing Hindu and you go to the temple and you offer something to Goddess Lakshmi or Lord Ganesha. I mean more like offering up that restriction, that contraction, that disbelief that it's not possible. The historical or habitual contraction you've gotten in around a certain desire that you want to co-create and that you've been focusing on and that hadn't hit threshold yet, or hasn't hit threshold yet, hasn't manifested yet. So what I'm saying is it's an offering of that distrust. It's an offering of that contraction and some grand gesture that helps you do that. So meaning under this new moon too, it's really great to declutter. So I just talked about loads of decluttering, and then there's the more well-known decluttering, right, of the physical objects. So is there something symbolically, a physical object symbolically, that will help you with that kind of grand gesture of release of that old contraction? That if you were to donate, if you were to let go of, if you were to give away, would actually affirm for you in a very elegant, natural way, and communicate to the invisible forces of support all around you and the universe to fill that vacuum in, because nature hates a vacuum. What you've just released, because there's a bounty of blessings that want to come in now. Namaste.